Alright, so a nice quick video on complex conjugates for some complex numbers. We've got three different numbers here, but the first thing to remember is what a complex conjugate is. So if z is a plus bi, then the complex conjugate z bar is a take away bi. Okay, so in the examples that we've got here, we've got the first one, which is a, which is z equals 2. Now you can see that z doesn't have any imaginary component to it, and because the complex conjugate only changes the sign on the imaginary component, z bar here will actually be exactly the same. There's no change there. So there's no imaginary part. For 3i, this is z equals 3i. The complex conjugate z bar is going to be negative 3i because you want to change that sign in front of the complex part. And for c, you could do this one. See if you get the right answer. Negative 1 minus 5i. The complex conjugate z bar is negative in front of the imaginary part only. Now what I want to do as well is just have a look at working through these questions using the CAS. So if I get the CAS up, okay, just in the calculator view, we'll have a look at finding the complex conjugates. Now complex number actions are inside the menu. So if you go into menu, go into number, and then down to complex number tools. So number is 2, then complex number tools is the bottom one, 9, and then complex conjugate, and that's 1 in my CAS. If you click that, you'll get conj, and you can actually just type your number in. So complex conjugate of 2 is 2. You can just type in conj as well, like using the keypad. And if we wanted the complex conjugate of 3i, we could type 3, get the I out of the pi menu. Remember, don't use the I in here, this is just a letter, it's not the complex number I. And you can see you've got your complex conjugate, which is the opposite sign. And the last one, which we tested, was negative 1 minus 5. So we're going to put in negative 1. Remember to use that as your negative, not this one. Minus 5i. And push enter. And you can see that you get that complex conjugate. It has the opposite sign for the imaginary part. So using your CAS for the conjugate is another way to go.